development, right? It's not just simply about, oh, I'm a travel agent. It's educating yourself to be able to determine what you can offer your customer. So my goal tonight is to provide you tools so that, yeah, I love you too. So my goal is to provide you tools that you will be able to use and how to categorize your customer. Because Blue Diamond Resorts is not just the Royalton. I do, if you've had a training with me in the past, you will know I do try to make these as proactive as possible because I do understand it's always a learning opportunity. However, because of the vast amount of agents in this call, I would suggest that you go ahead and dot those questions down on the chat room. And I promise we will go ahead and tackle them towards the very end. Give me 1 second. It seems I forgot to use Zoom. So I have to find how to share my particular screen. Here we go. I found it. All righty. 1 second, everyone. Okay. 1 second. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. Looks good.
All right, perfect. So Blue Diamond Resorts is Royalton, Hideaway, Planet Hollywood, Memories, Starfish, Grand Lido, and Mystique. And as I said a few minutes ago, every particular brand is slightly different to make sure that we're catering to every one of your customers. As you said earlier, my name is Lyra. I am the BDM for the Northeast. There's a vast majority of you who are outside of my territory, but I do like to be a tool. So if you ever want to reach out, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I can provide you the response for, and then I can happily connect you with your BDM. Nonetheless, towards the end of the presentation, you will see our particular layout, right? So as any other given subject, we will have to start with history. I promise it will not be that boring. I like to say we are quite young. As you see, we did begin in 2011, yet these particular properties are not available for the US market. They're actually in Cuba. And the reason why I mentioned is because despite the situation going on and the current limitation, one never knows, right? 1 second.
So I'm just going to take a moment while we're getting the PowerPoint together. I did see a question pop in. We're going to answer some questions at the end, but since we have a few moments, someone asked, Rhonda asked, what is a BDM? So BDM stands for Business Development Manager. Are you back?
Yes, I actually muted myself on purpose. I don't know if you guys heard a little gremlin there. That's my niece. It is the holidays, so my house is a full house.
Oh no, we totally understand. It's real life. So I'm gonna go ahead back to mute, okay?
Perfect. So yes, as she just mentioned, a BDM means a business development manager. What we are here to do is, in my terminology, honestly, is I'm here for you to use this or use me as a tool to make memorable vacations happen. I'm here so that you can grab as much information as you need from us to make sure that whatever your customer needs while they're on their vacation or prior to their vacation, you can provide. Okay, so going back to the presentation, can you all see it? Yes?
Yes, it looks good.
Okay, so if you notice the little round ball in 2013, that's actually when we began to market for the US clientele, when we opened Royalton, White Sands, and Trelawney, Jamaica, and when we opened Royalton, Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. It's quite exciting to see that these particular properties are still currently open and fully operational, which is amazing. However, little fun fact, you can jot this down. Royalton White Sands will be closing from May to November of 2023. Again, it's closing from May to November of 2023 for a full renovation, and it will be reopening its doors in December of 2023 as Hideaway for Royalton Blue Waters. Okay, again, you're gonna hear me repeat this in a little bit, but again, Royalton White Sands will be closing. Royal Punta Cana is fully operational, thank goodness. And as the years went by, we continue to grow. We are part of the largest, fastest, vertically integrated tourism company in North America, which is amazing, right? Now, the years continue to progress, we continue to grow, and then 2020 came along. It's a year we all want to same thing play, that is a leap year. Sadly, it was not. It was an extraordinary difficult year for everyone, whether you were in this industry, whether you were just starting, whether you were in it for years. It was very, very difficult for everyone. However, when the madness first started, let's call it that, right? When the madness first started, we really weren't sure what was going to happen, what was going on, right? It almost began as a rumor. And that is why, despite all the comments here and there, we did open Royalton Grenada in March of 2020, March 1st to be exact. Sadly, we had to close our doors 14 days later on the 15th of March, because if you remember, that is when the world came to a sad stop. Then, of course, we did get a refresher, and that is when 2021 came along. I have to say, if you've taken this training with me before, for me, that particular January of 2021 was something I definitely desperately needed. And that is when we opened Planet Hollywood in Costa Mujeres, Mexico. I had the opportunity of going for the grand opening, and it was definitely, again, exhilarating. It was definitely that rush to realize we're back in business. And that's exactly what this particular resort did push through. Since its opening has been amazing. We also did open another property in Cuba, which was Mystic Casa Perla. The resort is still operational also. Then 2022 came along, almost to an end, right? But we're very excited to announce we did continue growing. And that is where we have the Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun. This resort opened a few days ago, actually 8 days ago. It opened its doors December 20th of 2022. And this particular property does have a little bit of everything. It is considered a multi-generational resort for us also, as is Planet Hollywood. It does have 1,049 rooms, a little more work for you guys to get those filled, but we know it's possible. So again, it does have 1,049 rooms. I had the opportunity of seeing it right before the opening. I was just in Mexico, and I was amazed. I was utterly amazed. These that you see here are actually rooms, like swim out suites on the 3rd and 2nd floor, which is a little different, right? But again, we want to make sure that as many customers have that luxury as possible. And kudos to every one of you, because over 80% of our business, over 80% of the customers coming in-house is thanks to travel advisors as yourself, travel professionals who understand that every single vacation should be a memorable. So again, thank you very much. And now let's get to the good stuff, right? Not this, sadly, but this is still within our presentation. It is important for you as our advisors to know that despite all the limitations, all the hurdles, because if you were in it, all the hurdles we had to jump through, whether it was Jamaica with the form you had to fill in, whether it was Antigua, where you had to get the PCR and then something else and a form, right? Every hurdle that was sent our way, we were able to keep running right through them. And from this, we've decided to make a promise to our travel advisors as well as our customers that we understand it's not just about the fun and the excitement anymore. We also do take their health along with their safety as part of our priority. So Blue Diamond Resorts does make that promise that we will definitely try to ensure that should anything were to happen like this in the future, God forbid, right? We'll definitely be prepared and have these safety procedures already standardized just to be safe, okay? Now this map, I personally learned to love it. I've had a lot of agents that will say, no, wait, let me take a screenshot of it. Why? Because as you can see, we literally have you covered. All right. Whether a customer is looking for a traditional vacation in Jamaica and they want to go reggae on you, or if they want to be adventurous and go to Costa Rica, or exotic and go to Grenada, we have options for you, right? And as you can see, there's more than one option available. So it's important to see again that the whole Caribbean, including Mexico and Costa Rica, you have Blue Diamond Resort options. Okay. Now let's talk about the brands, right? Our most common known or well-known brand is the Royalton Luxury Resorts. This is a family-friendly, all-inclusive brand. If you've spoken with me on the phone or whatnot, you might know, right, Nina? I do have a son. I like to call him a brat from time to time. And it's amazing how these children need to be connected to the internet more than we do. Well, that's perfectly fine. In the Royalton, you can have up to 20 devices connected complimentary. I am aware of other resort brands that will allow you 2 devices and you have like 3 kids in the room. You're like, oh my God, you guys have to take turns. But again, you could have up to 20 devices. And at first we were told that was a little extra, but guess what? I personally think it is a necessity. We all get connected to the internet, whether it is our cell phones, our phones, our laptops, our watches, you name it, everything does get connected to the internet. Now, the room that you see on the right-hand side is our lead-in category. And to be exact, this is Royalton Grill. The reason why we showcase this room, as you can see, it's quite spacious, quite modern. You don't have that all cluttered furniture. So this is, when you go into Royalton Royalton the Grill, this is exactly what you see, okay? And you may not realize this because you might see in pictures of me, I look very slim, but I have a big appetite. And despite me having a big appetite and a dietary restriction, I've never have had an issue with our resorts not finding options. The Royalton Luxury Resorts does have 8 to 9 different restaurants available on property for the customers to be able to experience. So if we take into consideration our standard American vacation, it could be 6 nights, 7 nights. Well, that's perfect. Why? Because that would mean that your customer will have the opportunity of having a different culinary experience every single night of their stay. And sports. What American is not a sport fanatic? Whether it's football, whether it's hockey, you name it. I am personally a UFC fan, and I love my football. And when my fights are going on, I need to be able to watch them. That's perfectly fine. The Royalton, we are subscribed to all the major sport networks. Okay, so if your customer is concerned about missing their preferred NFL team, their baseball team, that's perfectly fine. No worries. They can go to the sports book, watch their preferred team, drink all the beer they want, and eat all the wings they can while they're watching their game, because remember, we are all inclusive. Also, I've been asked, is room service only from a time? No. Room service is 24 hours and room service is complimentary no matter which room category your customer is booked in. Okay. Also, a little fun fact, we do have really nice rain showers, and it's not like you're getting stoned like while you're there, like it's not like stones are falling on you. It does feel like you're showering in the rain. It's quite a nice experience. Also, it is pretty standardized to have USB charging stations, so the adapters are not needed. Hahowever, I was just recently in Mexico, and I realized that there's outlets that are normal by the bed and the bathroom for your hair, for your hair, for your blow dryer, for your charger or whatnot, along with the USB. But when I sat down on the desk, I'm like, we got a problem. What is that? If you run into that case, that's perfectly fine. You can call guest service and they'll bring you up an adapter, complimentary, no charge on that. So again, that was for the one in Mexico. Okay. Then one of our most famous trademarks is our dream bed. I wish that were me. And this particular dream bed is one of the most important trademarks we have. The reason for that is because you could probably agree with me. Nina, you can be in the best place in the world, and if you're not getting a good night's sleep, you're going to be extremely, extremely upset. Why? Because rest is the most important part of a vacation, right? So these particular beds are solo split system. That just indicates that there's no movement from one side of the bed to the other, but they're also hyperallergenic sealant. In good old American, that big word just means that there's a filter in the actual mattress that does not allow the humidity to penetrate the mattress. Okay, so the rooms don't ever smell musty or whatnot. If your customer does run into the scenario, always advise them to call front desk and let them know, hey, something's wrong with the room, it smells a little odd or whatnot, because it could happen, right? And if that is the case, they could always call front desk, let you know, like, hey, I'm in, I don't know where, and my room smells a little musty. Again, we try to adapt to what your customers need, okay? Then we have the Hideaway at Royalton. This is a fantastic brand. This is the best particular brand option if you're working on a wedding, if you're working on a group travel, on a family vacation. Why? Because when you're inviting your relatives to come to your vacation, guess what? They're taking time from their personal vacation at work to go to this particular wedding, right? There's a probability that they'll come with the kids. There's a high probability that there will be kids in the wedding along with travelers that do not have children, right? So this will give you the benefit of booking adults only on the Hideaway side, and they'll have full access to the Royalton. So they get the best of both worlds. They can play with their nieces and nephews a limited quantity of time, and then go to their side where there are no children, okay? The customers that are in the Hideaway have their own pool area and their own beach area. Why? Because even if you're not traveling with kids and there's a body of water and you see a kid, you're automatically trying to make eye contact with somebody. Whose kid is this? Why are they so close to the pool? Why are they by the water, right? So when, again, you're not traveling with the little ones, it's not something that you want to be preoccupied with or worried about. Same thing with the lobby. They have their exclusive lobby. Reason 4 is because when you're not traveling with little ones, and this will 100% apply to your customers. If they're not traveling with the little ones, they don't want to see the gremlins in the lobby. You might say, what? Yes. I think very few children have been made to travel as adults. I think my son is one of them. It's a little scary. But if you do the math, from the point this particular family leaves their home in the morning or in the afternoon to arrive to their destination, depending on their gateway, can be a 10-hour day, a 12-hour day, just them arriving to the lobby. Kids get very, very upset when they're tired. We don't want to see that if I'm not traveling with kids, all right? So again, guests in the Hideaway have their own lobby. They also have 2 exclusive restaurants that are only for them. So even though they do have access to the lobby while they're walking in, the hostess will notice their ashen gray wristband, and she'll sit them in the Hideaway section. So yes, they'll see the kids while they're getting served, but then they won't see mommy and daddy arguing because they need to eat what they have in their plate, right? So again, it's just the benefit of staying in a place while you're able to enjoy too. So this option where you have the Hideaway and the Royalton side by side, again, it's perfect for weddings, family vacations, reunions, because not every relative, not every guest is traveling with the little ones, okay? Then we have the Royalton Chic Resort and Spa. This is one of my favorite brands. This particular brand is very hyped. It is a very high energy resort. The slogan for this one is party your way. We want the customers to be able to have a fantastic time on their own terms while they're staying here. It's adults only, no children in the premise. There are no children in this particular perimeter, 18 years and over, and it's also all inclusive, right? So that means all they want to drink, all they want to eat. My thoughts with this one is I always suggest it for a friend's getaway trip, for a bachelorette party, for a getaway. Why? Because it's just a high energy vibe that particular crowd may be looking for. However, if you're also an older person, because I've seen this, I've seen older people really party hardy, man. If you know your customer has that energy and is looking for the energy, this is where you will book them. They'll have a fantastic time. One of the cool things that this particular brand does have is that, remember we're talking about this bachelorette party. If the girls decide to have too much champagne, it's all right. They can swing over by the oxygen bar, buy themselves an oxygen shot, goodbye hangover, let's continue the party. So this particular feature is exclusive to the Chic brand, okay? This particular picture that you see here is actually level 18. That is Royalton Chic Suites Cancun. That is the 18th floor of the tower. And as you can see, it's all jacuzzis, pools, cabanas, and of course the bars. We need to make sure that the customers are fully hydrated up there, okay? However, despite the fact that this particular floor is in an all-inclusive, this floor is not part of the all-inclusive. I repeat, level 18 in Royalton Chic Suites Cancun is not part of the all-inclusive. This particular property is only 10 minutes from Cocobongo to give you an exact idea of its location in Cancun. So it's right there on the strip. When you have a customer that literally requests you to stay there, one of the probabilities is that they want to be able to mingle with the locals. They want to be able to go to the discos. Well, guess what? We're going to give them that opportunity without them having to leave the resort. This resort, which I'll show you in a little bit, has an elevator that goes from the lobby all the way to the very top, nonstop. It doesn't stop elsewhere. And this, what it does is that for certain events, we do allow locals to come up and be able to experience level 18 along with the local, along with the guests. Again, and it gives them that experience of partying with the locals and the strip without having to leave the resort. So it's just a little extra safety feature that we have, and it works fantastically. But again, it is for exclusive events. And then we do have the famous Mermaid Pool. The Mermaid Pool is exclusive to Royalton Cheek Punta Cana. As the name says, that we do have impressive girls do wonderful aquatic shows during the weekend and special parties also. And when I tell you they can have adults completely mesmerized, I mean it. And I'm sure you all know keeping us adults entertained can be more of a task. And they do a fantastic job. Also, when this particular brand did first start, it was quite a thing, right? To have Middle Eastern and Italian food available. I think it still is. We've carried that over to the Royalton Cheek Cancun also, and it's quite an experience, okay? So remember, Royalton Cheek adults only. Then we have the Grand Lido. Grand Lido Negro, as the name says it, on the very bottom, it's all natural. That just means that your customers can waltz in there as God sent them to this beautiful earth. So past our lobby, they are all natural. This is adults only. However, it is 21 years and over. I repeat, 21 years and over. This particular brand is exclusive to Negril, Jamaica. And customers that are booked in Grand Lido have full access to Hideaway at Royalton Negril and Royalton Negril with their clothes on, okay? So if they're a little concerned with the luggage fees, you can book them here. Just tell them, hey, bring a backpack with 1 or 2 changes of clothes, one to go, one to come back. And of course, maybe one if they want to walk around the complete property. Again, 21 years and over. Customers that are booked here also do receive mobile upon arrival or departure. You as their travel advisor would reach out to us and let us know which one you want to offer to the guests. Send us the flight details and we'll go ahead and make the appropriate arrangements for them. Again, it is complimentary. Now, I do make a little emphasis when I say this, despite the fact that this resort, it's all natural. This does not mean that this is for someone who just turned 21 and they want to party all natural. No, this is a more laid back ambience, more of a European style. So it's a bit more classy. This is for a customer who is used to vacationing this way, okay? Also, this resort does not have a beach per se. What it has is 2 particular pools, one here and another one cascading further down. And then on the left-hand side, again, I'll show you in a different image, there's a bit of a boardwalk that the customers would use to go into a natural pool, which customers definitely appreciate because it gives them that extra privacy, okay? So that is Grand Lido Negril, exclusive to Negril, Jamaica. Then we have Planet Hollywood. Woo! Planet Hollywood, I like to say, it's a Royalton gone Hollywood. Why? Because the sleep famously is our trademark, right? Our dream bed. Solo split system, again, with hypoallergenic sealant. The main event guarantee, remember, we are subscribed to all the major sport networks, but it is Planet Hollywood. So we added a little thing, right? Anything going on in Hollywood, whether it is a premiere, a red carpet or whatnot, we will also be showcasing it in-house in a large screen for the customers to be able to enjoy it. And the plugged-in trademark. The plugged-in trademark is also the complimentary internet connection, up to 20 devices throughout the complete property. So once you're connected, you'll have internet throughout the whole resort. And it is Planet Hollywood, so we have to give it a bit of a twist, which is where your soundtrack comes in, right? How that works is that while you're checking in, you will be asked for your preferred music genre or your preferred music artist, okay? When you get to your room and you turn the TV on and go to your soundtrack, that selection that you've made will be what will be playing in the room, which is pretty neat. And the purpose of that is, as any Hollywood star, right? They may have a song or an artist that might get them into their mojo, into their persona. Same principle. We want the customers to feel as happy and as comfortable as possible while they're in-house. And then we have the adult scene, Planet Hollywood, and its adult scene. It's the same technicality as the Hideaway. This one is exclusive though to Planet Hollywood Cancun. This particular pool is the one for adults only. Here they have live entertainment in the afternoon and on the weekends. On this side is the actual swim up bar. The swim up bar gives that customer that benefit, like, oh, I don't have to leave the pool at all, right? So it's quite a nice area, quite lively. And you may not see it on this side, but right behind this white wall, that is where the Star Class pool is, which we're gonna get to in a little bit. This particular lobby is the lobby for the adult scene. This restaurant is called Catch, which is a seafood restaurant only for the customers and the adult scene also. And then right next to it is Brasa, which is a Brazilian steakhouse. On the very top, this is the lead-in category. This is literally the room I stayed in at all times I visit. Yes, we get the lead-in. But again, this is the room I've stayed in. It's quite spacious, quite comfortable. Then we have Royalton Splash Punta Cana. Again, this is a brand that we've developed wonderfully. This resort was previously called Memories Splash in Punta Cana. However, before the pandemic, honestly, we were aware the resort needed a Botox, a tummy tuck, you name it. The resort did receive this, and it now has a standard of a Royalton, which is why it was rebranded into Royalton Splash. It is meant to cater families with children 9 years and younger. I'm sorry, 12 years and younger. I take that back, 12 years and younger. The main attraction is this fabulous water park, which the kids definitely are quite entertained. The kids club is awesome. Like I remember the first time I brought my son, he kept talking about Ruby and Maxie Root. I'm like, who are Ruby and Maxie? Turns out they're actually the mascots, or were previously the mascots for this particular resort. We now have Turbo the Turtle. And their thing is that as the children are playing in the kids club, they're also educating them on the marine life and what you can do to help an animal in the wildlife. So it's quite nice. The escape room is a lot of fun. This particular pool that you see here is completely kid friendly. What do I mean with that? I am average. I am 5'4", not that tall. And this particular pool does not pass my thighs, the complete pool. So again, it's quite a comfortable space for children that are 8, 9 years old, right? Where the parent says, okay, they're having fun without having to be 100% concerned, okay? Then we have Mystique. Mystique is our only brand that is not all-inclusive. I repeat, Mystique is our only brand that is not all-inclusive. This particular resort is family friendly. Okay, we have 2 of these. We have one in Mexico in Holbox, which is a little island off the coast, and the other one is in St. Lucia. And you might say, why do they have a resort that's not all-inclusive? Who wants a resort that's not all-inclusive? Guess what? Your customer might want a resort that's not all-inclusive. Because let's say that Tammy books a customer to Mexico several times, and out of 5 times they book a vacation with her, 3 times I've been to Mexico. That tells Tammy that a preferred destination for this customer is Mexico. However, there's a probability that their next vacation, it might be a little different. It might be, hey, Tammy, we want to go back to Mexico, but we want to do something a little more Mexican, something less commercialized, and this is where this comes in. To arrive to Mystique Blue in Holbox, Mexico, you would have to fly into Cancun, take a transfer to the ferry, and then from Chiquila, you take that ferry to the island. The complete process could be a bit long, it's 2 hours, but it is definitely worth it. Why? Because as the slogan says, it is miles from ordinary. The resort is surrounded by restaurants that are owned by locals. It gives that customer that opportunity of really mingling with the locals without having to see a McDonald's 2 blocks away, right? So it's just, the experience is very different. I always tell this to the agents also, this is actually my boss's favorite property. This is a place where he goes to disconnect and reconnect. Like, we know when he's in Mystique, we don't even call him, right? Because according to him, he has no signal. I mean, he does, but it is a place that he goes to vacation to really reconnect with his dear ones, okay? Then we have Starfish. Starfish Resorts is considered a transitional brand for us, okay? As an example, Royalton White Sands, which is the one that will be closing, was previously Starfish Trelawney. We purchased the property over, we've remodeled it a bit here and there. But again, it is considered our transitional brands. We've kept them because of their amazing locations. Eventually, they will be turning into something else. You get a little sneak peek in a little bit. But as the slogan says, that you're the star, not you, but your customer. Why? Because let's say that Cynthia has a family, right? A family of 5, and they've never have had the opportunity of going abroad on an international vacation. We understand not every American household has the same financial means. And this is where this comes in. You may have a parent that wants to be able to do that with that very tight budget in a family of 5. Well, guess what? You have that opportunity. These resorts are a lot more accessible. The price points are a lot more accessible. Yes, you're not booking them in a Marriott, you're booking them perhaps an extended stay. But I have to tell you, as a mother of a child, I've gone to odd places, but guess what? My son has had an amazing time. Okay. So this will give that particular family with that tight budget, that opportunity of going abroad, of having a white sand beach in their feet, right? Because that's a whole experience. Of these, we don't have as many. We have one in St. Lucia. We have one in Antigua. And the little sneak peek is that the one in Antigua will be turning into Royalton Cheek Antigua. So we're very, very excited. That news is hot off the press. Again, Starfish will become Royalton Cheek Antigua. Okay. Now, Diamond Club. If you've ever reached out to us with requests, you might have heard of this term, Diamond Club. Why? Because from the get-go, you're enhancing your customer's experience. Diamond Club is a preferred area for customers that are booked with this. So it would be, for example, a luxury junior suite, Diamond Club. Presidential 2-bedroom suite, Diamond Club, right? It has to say Diamond Club within the room category for the customers to be able to receive it. But what does this mean? Well, this will give the customer the benefit of making dinner reservations in advance, okay? And this is great. Why? Because sometimes the customer might come in, they already know what's available in the resort, and they can tell their butler, right? Because they do get butler service. They can tell their butler, I want to have dinner in the Hunter tonight. I want to have dinner in the Hibachi tomorrow. I want to have dinner in the seafood restaurant El Dorado the next day, right? So they can plan their whole vacation with the assistance of their butler because they're able to make these dinner reservations. Also, they will be the ones that have the benefit of drinking preferred liquor or premium liquor because it is available. Guests that are not Diamond Club have to pay a little extra whenever they go to the bar because certain things are not available for them. They also will be the ones that have a lounge while they're checking in. So they won't check in with the hundreds of people in the lobby. They'll check in a lounge before they're finalized or they'll go offered what they'll like to drink. They also do have their exclusive beach area, which is where you would have the Bali beds and whatnot. Same thing for the pool. They have their own pool because customers pay a little bit more. But when I tell you the experience changes drastically, I really mean it. Even the room locations are preferred. Why? Because if you have a customer that is ocean view and a standard room, they might be on the 2nd floor. But if they are ocean view Diamond Club, they might be on the 3rd or 4th floor. That is letting you know that their view of the ocean is a lot more panoramic. Also, they do get 1 complimentary hydrotherapy during their visit, and they get discounts in the beauty service and the beauty parlor. Okay. Now, Diamond Club is for the Royaltons. This particular option is also available for Planet Hollywood. Same thing, just different terminology. So instead of being called Diamond Club, it's called Star Class. Instead of having a butler, you're going to have a personal agent. Instead of having instead of having a Diamond Club pool, you have a Star Class pool. So again, it's the same thing, just the terminology might change slightly. Okay. I will not bore you anymore. I will tell you where we're located and our distances. In the beautiful island of Jamaica, the heartbeat of the world, we have right now 5 properties. Royalton White Sands, remember what I said at the very beginning. This is the one that will be closing from May to November 2023 for full reno, and it will be reopening as a sister resort for Blue Waters again. However, it will be Hideaway at Royalton Blue Waters. So this will open as an adult-only property. These particular resorts are 30 minutes away from the airport, Jamaican time. All right, then we continue our drive towards the beautiful Negril, the capital of casual, where we have Royalton Negril, Hideaway Royalton Negril, and Grand Lido Negril. This is a 45-minute drive from the airport. And as I said earlier, this is a pool here and the other one right here. And this is a little boardwalk they will take. You don't see it, but this is literally a beautiful natural pool. right? Then we continue to Orlando, Mexico, where we right now have 7 properties. I think I'm getting my new presentation this Friday. So we have now 7 properties. And this particular order is Royalton Chic Suites Cancun. This one is 20 minutes away from the airport, 10 minutes away from Cocobongo. This is that famous elevator I mentioned earlier, from the lobby all the way to the very top. Doesn't stop elsewhere. It's quite a nice view also. Then we continue to Riviera Maya, where we have Royalton Riviera Cancun, Hideaway at Royalton Riviera Cancun, and right next door in this area will be the Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun. That one does have 1,049 rooms. This is a bit more of a drive. It's a 45-minute drive. And then we continue our drive toward Costa Mujeres, where we have Planet Hollywood and its adult scene. This particular property is a little further away. It's an hour and like 15 minutes because it is in Costa Mujeres. And last but not least, Mystique Blue in Holbox, Mexico, with 38 small rooms. This particular resort is 2 hours away from the airport. However, take into consideration that there's a lot of construction going on in Mexico. They have 3 major constructions going on at the same time simultaneously. So these particular drive times might be a little extended, just to give you the reality of it, okay? So again, instead of maybe 20 minutes to go to Chic, it may be half an hour. Again, because of that particular situation with the construction. Remember what I said earlier, this resort is extraordinary, 1,049 rooms. It will have, or it does have, I'm sorry, two lazy rivers, one meant for not necessarily adults, but the way of the layout, it definitely seems that way. On this side is that smaller lazy river. On this side is a larger one with a massive water park, whereas in this side is a smaller water park. But my joke with this is you have a gelateria and a pizzeria on this side, and then you have a little bar on this side. Trust me, the kids are going to want to be here. So it is an extraordinary restaurant resort itself. The restaurants are out of this world. And I think this is your next big boom, okay? Then we have My Piece of Paradise, Dominican Republic, where we right now have 5 properties. Maybe that will change soon. Where we have Royalton Punta Cana, Hideaway Royalton Punta Cana, and Royalton Splash Punta Cana. These 3 are all within one same complex, and they're 25 minutes away from the airport. But guess what? It was always filled to capacity, which was why a few years ago they built the Royalton Barbaro right next door with another set of 730 rooms. So this one is 26 minutes away from the airport. They're literally back to back. And then we continue our drive towards Vero Alto, where we have Royalton Chic Punta Cana. It's a little further away. It's a 45-minute drive from the airport. And this is the one that is exclusively adults only, no children in the premise. Then we continue with St. Lucia, my favorite property. Let her inspire you. Royalton St. Lucia and Hideaway at Royalton St. Lucia are quite a hike. It is a 90-minute drive. However, fun fact, we do have a helipad on property. This destination is so exclusive that I could probably make a gamble with you. Out of 10 vacations that you've booked here, maybe 8 have been because of big milestone celebrations. Whether it's an anniversary, a big birthday, a honeymoon, it's special booms. Give them that option from the get-go. Hey, there's a helicopter transfer. That just brings up their vacation to a whole different category. There's also an option where you can take a catamaran from the airport around the island that will bring you right there. That's also another option instead of that 90-minute drive. I'm very straightforward with this. I'd never gotten car sick in my life, except when I went to St. Lucia. The roads are very narrow. If your customer says no to either or, that's fine. But when they complain to you about the drive, then you tell them, hey, I told you, right? Then we have Mystique and Starfish. These are a little bit closer to the airport. They're like 60 minutes. And this 2 particular properties are definitely where the party is in St. Lucia. This area is a bit more laid back, where this particular area is where the party life of St. Lucia is. Then we continue to Royalton Antigua. Royalton Antigua is extremely close to the airport. It's only a 15-minute drive. I was personally surprised when I went because the driver said, oh, you're here. I'm like, what? And then I see the Royalton sign. Okay, so it's very, very close to the airport. And in Antigua, very important. Okay, this particular building that you see here is literally the rooms. Okay, in Royalton Antigua, we sell Bayview or Mountain View. We do not sell Ocean View. I don't know if you guys can see the mouse. We sell Bayview, not Ocean View. And I'll tell you why. Because what's right in front of the building is this little bay. It's a little lagoon. It is active water, so it's not just a swamp. The water does move, but that is what is directly in front of you. Now, I've been to this property and I can guarantee you turn your body towards the left-hand side and you will see the ocean. But we do not sell Ocean View in Antigua. Again, it is Bayview or Mountain View. However, that is not why we're famous in Antigua. We're famous because of these babies. We have 6 over-the-water bungalows available in Antigua. Yes, you heard me right. Over-the-water bungalows, the chairmans, are our highest room category within our complete portfolio. We only have 6 of them. There's a little bird said that we're having 7 more. When? I don't know, but I've heard 7 more coming in. The over-the-water bungalows are adults only. So despite the fact that the property itself is family friendly, this area is not. It can hold up to 3 guests. I mean, 3 adults. Do not ask me why a third. I don't know. I just have to tell you, right? Also, customers that are here are extremely pampered. They do get butler service. They get a private dinner exclusively for them. It's to the point that if they don't want to do their laundry, that is fine. We will do their laundry for them prior to their return. And again, it is adults only. Okay. Then we go ahead and show you this particular layout. This is very important. What you see in this picture, it is standardized. In the Royaltons, in Planet Hollywood, you either get 1 king-size bed and a pull-out, or 2 queen-size beds and a pull-out. I'm going to repeat this. This is standardized. 1 king-size bed and a pull-out, or 2 queen-size beds and a pull-out. Now, I'm going to stop sharing and I will reshare because this is very important, okay? 1 second. I'm going to go to a website that I hope you have all seen. Let me reshare. 1 moment. Right here. I'm going to reshare my screen, everyone. 1 moment. Here it is. Now, this website is just the Royalton website. See that? RoyaltonResorts.com. And let's say we want to be a little bougie and we want to go to Royalton Grenada. We're going to go there. I'm sorry, I'm going to do it again because I did it too fast. We're on the Royalton Resorts website. We're going to go to menu. We're going to go to, oops, sorry. Again, RoyaltonResorts.com, menu. Now it's a little slow. Sorry. Menu. Go to Grenada, select it. And now you're going to see it says Royalton Resorts, and the very top is going to say Royalton Grenada. Okay? Or I'm sorry, it's selected Antigua. It's okay. So you're going to go to where it says online room selector. When you click on that, you're going to be routed to this particular screen. When you send us an email and say, hey, Lyra, I have customers headed your way and I need 2 beds in the room. Yes, we can happily add the notes, but we are unable to guarantee this. Why? Because if your customer is checking in and there's 20 other people behind them, the front desk person is not going to go in manually in the system to see what's available. They want to get everyone checked in as prompt as possible. So they're not paying attention to what bedding is in the system available, okay? However, once you have your customers booked and they're paid in full, you're going to go to this website. Again, the Royalton Resorts, the resort they're headed to, and then you're going to go to the online room selector. The system's going to prompt you for the first and last name. As you can see, it's not asking for a reservation number. First and last name of your customer, how it shows in their reservation. If you put Marianne with a hyphen, put Marianne with a hyphen. If you see that with a hyphen, it doesn't work, put it all together. If it doesn't work, then put a space, right? Because sometimes where they're being typed in, they might not put the hyphen. They'll just put it all together. The email address. I know you guys are very smart, right? And at times, you will put your email address in the system. Why? Because you want to filter whatever's coming through for the customers. So you put your email address and the check-in date. What the system's going to do is it's going to populate like a blueprint of the resort, taking into consideration the room category that you've booked. So if they want to be in room 6313, guess what? You can put them right there. And when they go to the lobby, if the room is ready, that's the room they're going to get. If it's not ready, the front desk manager will say your room is not available as of yet, but we have you assigned for 6213. Okay. So that room that you first selected will be the room that will be given to the customer. Same thing. Those rooms, before you make the selection, you will be able to see the bedding layout. So sometimes your customers don't really mind where they are in the resort, as long as you can guarantee for them their bedding. However, this resort or this particular tool, has a small surge charge. It could vary from $60 to $100. You see it right here on the very bottom. Yet this varies depending on the room category. You're gonna see the pricing before you make the selection. Okay, so you make the selection, it's gonna tell you the price. And so you don't make that payment, you cannot guarantee this. Okay, so again, that's the online room selector. It's important that you know that tool is fabulously, but it is not complimentary. Okay, going back to this is a layout. If you want to guarantee 2 beds, you go ahead and use that particular tool. If you want to guarantee a king, same thing. Or if you've had customers that have been to property already, if they have, they are a little more adamant and no, I want to be in this building. Again, you can make that happen. Okay. Then we have Planet Hollywood, Costa Rica. I like to refer to this property as an emerald within our portfolio. I've been working with the company now since 2019, and I received 1 complaint of this resort, and it was addressed the same exact day. Okay, to me, that speaks volume. This particular property is customer service driven. There's no other way of explaining it. I try to do at least 1 fam here a year because it is such a different destination. This is not a beach destination. As you can see, we're actually on a black sand beach because of the previous volcanic activity in the area. We're only half an hour from Liberia Airport, which is fabulous for Costa Rica. And remember, they do get 6 months of rain during the year, which is why this particular resort has been built on a cascading setup to avoid a landslide, right? But the layout is incredible. The staff is out of this world. And trust me when I tell you, they will go outside of their way to make something and everything possible. I really mean it. We have a little family of monkeys, right, that lives on property. It is Costa Rica. They're not caged or anything. It's quite nice to see them steal your pizza on the pool. That's all they do. And they're not aggressive. They're actually very, very nice. They're used to being, they are used to being around people. So it's quite an experience. Again, this is only half an hour from the airport. Then we continue to Royalton Grenada, our latest jewel. Actually, no, I take that back. Our latest jewel was Royalton Splash Riviera. But this particular property is very, very exclusive for us. It is only a 10-minute drive from the airport. It is family friendly, also all inclusive. Little fun fact, this is the only resort that has beach walkout rooms. So these particular buildings, you can literally walk out from your balcony, from your door outside in your room, if you're at the first floor, into the sand. That is the only property that has that. And sometimes your customer will ask you for that exactly. That is available in Royalton Grenada. Also, despite the proximity to the airport, the planes are not hovering over us. They're going in the opposite direction, which is important for your customers. And if you book weddings, God bless you. I'm just joking. They are beautiful. Certainly to begin your customers forever in paradise is out of this world. I was married in destination, and it is one of the most memorable things. It just adds so much to that moment. We are able to do Indian weddings, Bollywood weddings. So if you ever approach, do not be hesitant, do not be scared. Our wedding consultants are actually in Toronto, Canada. And the reason for that is that we don't want any sort of miscommunication, misinterpretation, confusion, right? If your bride wants rose gold, she doesn't want fuchsia, right? So they do the complete contracting aspect of it all in Toronto. And then 2 to 3 months before the wedding, depending on the wedding size. They bring it down then to the team on property to finalize the details. I am also aware that based on the size of the wedding, that wedding consultant will fly down from Canada to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. And now let's talk about your money. Guys, wake up. All right. So this is the most important part. Honestly, if you can take anything back tonight, is this. Go to bdagentrewards.com. I urge you, bdagentrewards.com, no matter which tour operator you are using, whether it is Vacation Express or sister company, whether it is any of the ALG branches, whether it is Pleasant Holidays, whatever makes you happy, right? Except that's online. You register the booking before your customers travel. I repeat, before your customers travel. You register the booking and you're going to start earning points. Okay. Your points, whenever you decide to make a redemption, you're going to get asked to validate your address, and then you're going to get this card. This is literally a debit card. You can use it as you like. You can go shopping with it. You can go to an ATM with it. My joke is you do what you want with your money. You've earned it. Okay. Also, if you reach out to me and say, hey, Lyra, I want to go on the fam, it doesn't work that way. We've reached a point in our industry that we need to know really that you are giving us guests, that you are booking us, right? For us to be able to give you back. So the only way that I can see what you're doing is if you register under bdagentrewards.com. That's how you get invites to FAMs. That is how you get invites to activities. That is how, when you reach out to us for travel agent rates, we say yay or nay, right? You have to have bookings in the system. Why? Because if Nina's booking us and she wants to say, hey, Lyra, I booked a whole bunch of customers to Splash. I've never been there. I want to go with my daughter. Guess what? If she has bookings in there and availability permits, yes. However, if Nina doesn't have anything, my hands are tied. The system does not allow it. Not me, it's not my boss. It's the system does not allow it. So I urge you, please register, go to bdagentrewards.com and register your bookings before your customers travel. Okay. The only one that does not earn points is Starfish and the Mystique in St. Lucia, but the one in Hobart, Mexico does. Okay. Now this is us. This is our team. Again, my name is Lyra Liriano. You don't see me on a camera. It is the holidays. I have lots of kids at home. But I am the BDM for the Northeast. So my territory is a beautiful district of Columbia, right here, to the very cold state of Maine. So my joke is New Yorkers keep me on my toes. I urge you, always send us an email, reach out to your BDM. If you can't reach your BDM, if you don't remember who your BDM, that's fine. Send me an email. I'll happily respond to you, help you out, and then connect you with your BDM. We're actually one team for you to help you make amazing vacations happen. I'm going to go ahead and stop talking now so I can go into that chat and answer your questions. Oh, I don't know if our lovely co-host.
Yes, I am here. I am here. Amazing, amazing presentation. What other business can you sit in the comfort of your home, or maybe some of you are in your car hosting your families, like as Lyra is doing, yes, and get all of this great information about properties internationally. If you can locate the chat and go ahead, and we're going to start some questions, Lyra. I know we're short on time, guys, but just a few moments, we'll get to your questions. So thank you so much for that amazing presentation over your portfolio of resorts. I've personally been to the Hideaway in Cancun, and it is all that you've said and more. The pictures do not do it justice. Okay, so the first question I have here is, where and how do we register for Blue Diamond?
And that's the website. Right here, Lakeisha answered. Thank you.
Thank you.
bdagentrewards.com. So you're missing the W. So if you click on here, it won't work. I'll type it on the chat box so you'll have it. bdagentrewards.com. Oops, I missed.
This
that's keyboard. There we go. Rewards.com. That's yes. That's the website.
Adrian, I don't know if she's still on the line, but just for everyone, this Zoom is recorded. It'll be available within 72 hours on the YouTube channel. So just so you guys know. Thank you, Lakeisha, for putting that in there.
Can we
Very-
revisit the map? Yes, absolutely. There we go. This one, is it this one that you needed?
Yes, I believe that's the one they're looking for. And
I
then I
don't-
think,
Yeah, with the chat open?
yeah, we also answered Rhonda's question, how do we find out who that is? So Lara put up the BDMs for each region as well, but you go ahead and book your clients. You don't necessarily have to reach out to them unless you have questions per se, and you want to include your platinum sponsor, which ours is Miss Nina Jackson Mitchell, on any correspondence, or reach out to her first before you contact them. Let's see, do we have any more? A lot of people are in here saying how great Blue Diamond Resorts are, and like I said, I can attest to that. I know at Evolution, we are Blue Diamond strong, so we love the properties.
Yeah, so Roland, we don't have anything available outside of the Caribbean, Mexico, and Costa Rica. We're a little focused in that area, but who knows, one never knows. Also, we do have a fantastic YouTube channel. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can send it to you guys right here on the chat also. And anything that you see there, you can share. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna share something else with you guys, which is super important. Just give me 30 seconds so I don't dizzy you guys out. And I'm gonna look for the channel for the Royalton Blue Diamond Resorts channel. 1 second. One moment. Okay, so this is the website, RoyaltonResorts.tv. I'm gonna put in the chat also. 1 second. And then I'm gonna reshare. This is super, super cool. Because sometimes I understand that every one of you has taken social media to promote, and that is super important. Honestly, kudos. I know a lot of business comes from there, which is fantastic. Any video that you see on this particular channel that I've shared with you, you can feel free to download or copy and paste in your social media, or even share with customers that are headed to whichever property, right? Because it will definitely incite their vacation, okay? However, we also do have something else, which is our media gallery. So that is called BlueDiamondResorts.com. 1 second. BlueDiamondResorts.com. I will also put that in the chat box. 1 second. What this is the Blue Bible. Honestly, sometimes you travel advisors will ask us or me stuff. And trust me, I might know a few of the room counts, but I don't know them all off the top of my head. I go in here, media room, images and assets. Okay, once I'm there, this is again my Blue Bible. So let's say that your customer is interested in going to Royalton Riviera Splash and they have all these questions for you, right? You can happily call me, that's fine. But sometimes it's best that you have it there because there are certain customers that will ask you for it. Okay, so you're gonna go to BlueDiamondResorts.com, media room, and then images and assets. You're gonna select the Royalton Luxury Resort. We're gonna go to Image Bank as an example, right? And then we're gonna select the Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun. Automatically, we're gonna get images of this particular property, and these pictures were just recently taken, okay? So they're not artwork, they're actual pictures taken of the property already. You can share these with your customers, you can share that on social media, okay? However, if you want additional information, remember the fact sheets. The fact sheets are like the blueprints of the resort. Everything is there. Again, we're gonna go to Royalton Luxury Resorts, select fact sheet, and again, you're gonna select the resort that you're interested in, back to Riviera. You have the option of downloading the fact sheet in Spanish, in English, and in French, okay? So let's say that I want the English fact sheet, right? I'm gonna hit high resolution. 1 second. I'm gonna click on the file, and then everything we need to know about the resort, including the room count, the room category, how many guests can I put in a room, what are the restaurant calls, where are the restaurants, you name it. Everything is there, including maps, okay? Again, so it's BlueDiamondResorts.com. It is what I like to call the Blue Bible. Everything that you need to know about a particular property is there, okay? I just wanted to say that. I'm gonna stop sharing again. Let's go back to this question.
Okay, I think the other question that had popped in was the opening of Royalton Splash.
Where?
So Shelley's asking, what is the opening date for Royalton Splash? It looks like there were some reviews of people complaining about the new construction and it had kinks to be worked out.
All right, so the resort opened December 20th, so it's only been 8 days since the property did open. I have to say I am personally surprised because we actually have managers in-house that we get pictures every single day. For example, I had someone complain to me that the pool wasn't ready. I don't know which pool they were referring to. I asked our manager, hey, I got this particular comment that the pool isn't ready, but we were there, it just needed a little bit of water. He goes, which pool? And I told him. He went to the pool, he made me a video of the pool. There were kids playing in the pool. And that's the thing. When you have a customer that says, I read this complaint, I read this review or whatnot, are they legitimate reviews? Have the customers even stayed there? So always reach out if you have a customer that's a little hesitant because of the reviews. My thoughts with that are, out of a restaurant, right? You might have 10 different customers going, right? 10 different tables. 9 of those tables might have an extraordinary experience. And there might be one table that, guess what? Their fork was dirty, right? I'm just giving you an example. They're gonna go online and put, don't go there, that restaurant is dirty, it was nasty, but my fork was dirty, right? Whereas all the other 9 had an awful experience. It's too early with the Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun to really go into negative comments about it because it's only been open 8 days, actually, I'm sorry, 8 days. There's reviews in there from even before the resort opening. Like, how is that possible? Like, no one's been there yet. How is it that you're saying this and this is happening if the property is not even open, right? So just be careful with the reviews that you read. If you're ever hesitant or that you feel you're gonna lose a group booking for whatever madness they read online, feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help you because a customer might say, oh my God, wait, Tina does have backup from the people on the resort. They really know what they're talking about. And that's what it is about, that you have the support. Again, if I were you, don't concern about those reviews. It's only been open 8 days. There were reviews in there from like the 12th of December that the resort, that the food was bad. How is that possible? The resort hasn't opened yet, right? So it's little things to take into consideration. My pleasure, Shelley. Yes, the activities are out of this world. That resort has a bowling alley, a laser tag room, oh my God, what's that called? A bit of a trampoline park. The water slides are fun. A little secret, there's one that goes through a wall. The lazy river for children is literally a cave. The pizzeria is inside a cave. It's amazing.
So now, Shelley, you have even more information to boost this client up.
Absolutely.
Resort up to your clients. What better way than to have a BDM who knows her stuff about the brands on the line with you guys to help you better sell to your clients. Amazing.
I also got a question from Maggie. She says, what is the kids' age recommendation for the splash? Okay. This resort has so much to do that I would consider it a multi-generational. So between Planet Hollywood, Cancun, right? And Royalton Riviera Splash Cancun and Royalton Bavaro, you have a multi-generational situation all the way around. So it depends what age, but again, based on the activities, I would say you could have teenagers, you can have younger kids. Yeah, kids will have teens will have a fantastic time there, absolutely. All of our wheelchairs are, all of our resorts have wheelchair accessible rooms. These particular rooms, if you have a customer who is wheelchair bound, you can send us the booking details and say this customer needs a wheelchair accessible room. We don't have as many throughout the properties, but we will definitely make sure that that customer does have a room that is for wheelchair accessible, that does not have a fee. Okay. So John, this is a really, thank you for asking. There are certain activities on property which are considered enhancements. For example, Planet Hollywood Cancun. There's a trampoline park, a virtual reality room, an arcade, all in one room. It's massive. That particular area is not necessarily all inclusive. However, I live in Jersey. I live half an hour away from New York. And I can tell you, for me to bring my son into a trampoline park, it's at least $80. Whereas here is like $5, right? So the price point is definitely a lot more accessible. It's not crazy expensive. And if you have more children, if you have multiple kids, they'll even work with you to make it more reasonable. Where do we find Blue Diamond Resorts through our preferred Archer vendors? That would be with you, Tina.
Taina, yeah, okay, so if you look at it, no, it's fine. If you look in our, a lot of things are pinned in your back office, right at the top, in your preferred supplier area. So check your back office for sure. Reach out to us via the Facebook chats and we can help with that. Also, if you have questions about, I saw one asking about how to fill out the agency information. Megan, reach out to us on Facebook via one of the chats and we can help you get with that as well. And then just once again, the video will be available typically within 72 hours. Check on the Facebook group. It is pinned under the Walkthrough Wednesdays, guys. Okay.
Delana's asking, are there FAM opportunities or training schedules? So the trainings are literally this. I do try to do trainings from time to time, every 3 months or whatever, during evening hours, because I understand a lot of you may have this as a temporary, as a part-time, and whatnot. So it just, I want to make sure that you have all the updates that are there available. If you want, BDMs have their own sort of way of giving trainings. So it might be that you may say, hey, I want to do it with my BDM. I want to see what it's like. You're more than welcome to reach out. The more information you have, the better. I like to say the knowledge is power. So every time you see a training, reach out to the team. I'm sure that every X amount of time, a refresher will be available as to what the opportunities are as per FAMS. Now, this is a very tricky question. Remember what I said about the rewards. You need to make sure that you're booking our properties. You need to make sure that if you're booking it, you're registering it. Because if you're not registering, what I see is Archer. I don't see Nora. I don't see Tracy. I see Archer, right? So I need to be able to individually see who's booking, because we will allow that person that opportunity of coming to a FAM because they're selling the property, right? I am one that if you're one of my agents and you send me an email and say, hey, Layra, I want you to put me on your FAM list for Mexico, I literally have an Excel of FAM requests. And I go down that list. So I have a few agents upset with me because once you come in a FAM with me, I cross you out and bring you to the bottom, because I want to make sure that all my agents that have reached out have that opportunity of coming down on a FAM. So again, just make sure you register. It does come down to that, because we want to make sure you're booking us. You want to experience it, so it's easier to sell it, right? So register your bookings. Does Blue Diamond Resorts offer it? Yes and no. And the reason why I say that is I'm still waiting for my material for 2023. We're a little concerned about printing brochures because a lot is going on where customers would rather have the digital options, which is why I walked you into the BD agent, the Blue Diamond Resorts, because everything's there. We do offer giveaways for like groups. If you have more than, I think it's more than 20 rooms or whatnot, you can send me an email and we could happily send you material from Canada. Whether it is like little beach bags, whether it is, it's different options that we have available. But yes, you can always reach out for marketing material. Absolutely. Yes, FAM means familiarization trips. Where you get, yes, absolutely. Yay, you're so smart, Lakeisha. She's on this.
Yes, thank you to my co-hosts that are in the chat helping us out here. Are there any more questions? We do not want to keep Layra too long. I know she's hosting family for the holidays. We'll see if there's any more questions. I think that was all of them.
That's it. Remember, please, we beg you, go to BD Agent Rewards. Make sure you guys are earning a little more. We understand selling travel is not as simple, but again, as I said earlier, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So,
So
and
if
the
you guys could, I'm sorry, go ahead, Lyra.
and I wanted to say, sometimes people say, oh, why am I going to book through a travel agent? I have relatives who I literally tell them when something happens, the advocates for you are your travel advisors. Because if you book through Expedia, God forbid, you're going to get stuck in that airport.
Yeah.
So, yeah, see you in January.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We cannot thank you enough. Everyone, please locate the chat box and put your thank yous in there. Great information. Thank you guys for joining. And
Here.
have a happy new year. Absolutely. Happy holidays to everyone. And on behalf of our 1-star platinum peach, Miss Nina Jackson Mitchell, this webinar is officially over. Thank you. Have a good night.